Welcome to another review, but this time it's not a re-review, it is just a normal review, as in it is a new locomotive. And as you can see, it's a Hornby locomotive. No prizes for guessing that, unfortunately. And it was £89.95, which is a good price because this would have cost £106, but it was reduced, and I got it at the Midhants Railway at Alresford, where there's a little shop, and it is a BR Fowler 060 Class 4F, number 44331, and it is DCC ready, but it has been fitted. So it has been taken out of the box, but it is in the box, and it is how it came, because the only thing I've done to it is add the DCC decoder. Apart from that, it's how it came. So it's typical Hornby box. It opens at this end and the polystyrene box just slides out. So let's take this rather nice outline picture of the Class 4F, which is very nice, as you can see. And here's the box, and here is my arch rival, the DCC jacket, as NCC 82 would say. They recommend you put it on, but then the instructions for the chip say don't put it on because it may overheat. But you have to cut these to insulate them, but I use sticky pads, so what's the point? But there is a point for this, however. These are the instructions for this particular type of loco, the Fowler Class 4F. Well, let's say the Fowler locomotives. There were more than just these two Fowler locomotives, but in this case, both are designed by Fowler, Sir Henry Fowler, and yeah. So let's just call them Fowler locomotives. But obviously, he also designed stuff like the Class 7Fs and the and even the Ginties were designed by Fowler. But anyway, this is for the Class 4F and the 2P. It's just the usual instructions: where to lubricate, how to take off the body, where the DCC decoder goes. It's stuff which we've seen before, but it is obvious. But it is obviously important to refer to these when it comes to maintaining the locomotive. Let's put that to one side. Here is the locomotive in the polystyrene box. So, seals at the back. Just push both of them out at the same time. Our tender's a bit stuck in there. Come on, and there we go. Now here's the locomotive. Wow. Well, just look at that. Okay, well, it isn't the most detailed model by Hornby. It doesn't have sprung buffers, and the cab is not the best detail, but it is really nice. I mean, it does have NEM couplings, and it does have handrails running on both sides, and some handrails on the front door, and brake pipes which have already been added. I didn't add those myself. No. And obviously the 4F, this is a very famous type of freight locomotive designed by the LMS, and they were very successful, and they were used well into BR days, until obviously BR decided to replace these by diesels, just with every other steam locomotive type, and were drawn in the 1960s. But some have survived. I think there's one on the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, which has quite recently returned to service. So it is important to preserve at least one of these, because they were very important to the LMS. But wow, just look at this. As I say, it's not the best detail, but come on, look at it. I mean, it is really nice. It's very heavy for, well, it's not very heavy, but it is quite heavy for its size. It's not a very big locomotive. It does have traction tyres, as you can see, on the centre wheels, for extra adhesion, which will mean that she'll be able to pull those long freight trains which she pulled back in the day. Well, not this one, but the real locomotive. The coal is quite nice as well. Just focus. And there's the water filler cap and the 2 levers on the front of the tender. And there's the cab. The cab is fairly well detailed. It's not painted, but the detail is there. I mean, you do get the regulator and the cut-off, the reverser on the left-hand side, and the firebox door and all the valves and piping. Yeah, everything's there. And there's the late crest for BR 44331, and it says 4F right above it. The 4 is the power rating, so this is reasonably powerful, and the F stands for freight. But wow, I mean, this is a rather nice locomotive. It's got a very nice chimney, it's got a nice dome, and just look at the safety valves. So there's a safety valve, and right behind is the whistle. Wow, it's all really nice. Not superb detail, but it is quite nice. And the other side is just as nice. There's one thing that I have to point out. As you can see, the locomotive and the tender are permanently coupled, and there's also a wire. So be very careful, because, well, you know, you could break those wires if you were not careful. They don't look like they are going to break, but just be careful. You know, you have to be careful with every locomotive, even ones that don't have wires. And you do get nice rivets on the on the side of the smoke box, and sandpipes as well, and the washout plugs. And the back of the tender is very nice as well. You get footsteps and the brake pipe, as I mentioned before, but no sprung buffers, which is a bit of a letdown. But you know, I suppose you can't have sprung buffers all the time. But they do look, they may look sprung, but they're not, which is a bit unfortunate. Oh well. It is still a very nice locomotive. It is essential to have this. If you're an LMS fan, if you're a fan of the LMS, you need this. You do need it. It's a need, because, well, the 4Fs were so important to the LMS that without them, I think the LMS would no, I wouldn't say they wouldn't have existed, but they were just really important locomotives. They kept the freight. They kept up freight duties for the LMS. You know, just shows their importance. And this one by Hornby may not be the most detailed, but it captures the character very nicely. I mean, if you look at it from the front, it's like a 4F. Look at it from the side, it's a 4F. It's a 4F all round. And the tender's a very nice Fowler tender. And the axle boxes are very nice. So yeah, all in all, it is a very nice locomotive. May not have superb detail, but it is nice. I mean, come on, just look at it. Come on, just look at it. It's very nice. Come on, just look at it. It's a very nice locomotive. Well, I suppose we can only judge it now on one thing, which is running and performance. Here we have the BR Class 4F on the track, and let's just have a brief look around her. As you can see, she's a very nice locomotive. She looks really good. Now let's give her some juice, and off she goes. Wow. She may not be the most detailed model because she does lack sprung buffers and other details like a very nice cab, but the way her performance is brilliant. Look how smoothly she goes. I just love the wheels. Wow, just look at. Yeah, the wheels are very nice. Just goes along the track without any trouble. Let's get a few line side shots now. So yeah, as you can see, she is a very nice runner. She captures the look of the 4F really nicely. Wow. That's amazing. In conclusion, she may not be the most detailed model or even the most cheapest because she does cost about £100. This one was reduced to £89, but normally she costs around 106. So yeah, but if you can afford her, then I definitely recommend her. But she is essential for any fan of the LMS. You can also get her in LMS livery, so you do get a choice of your own livery. But whether it's in BR or LMS, she is an essential locomotive for anybody who's a fan of the LMS. And I can't wait to do a video of her pulling a goods train. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next review or video.